Welcome to a special edition of Radio Her, brought to you by the Women in Business Association at U of T Scarborough. In this 5-part series, hosted by Alina Chow and Matthew Fuller, we explore entrepreneurship through the perspective of failure and how we can redefine, accept, and overcome this inevitable obstacle in our lives.
So going back to the whole, product not working and you asking me, what I think of when it comes to failure, it always goes to the product itself. Mm-hmm. My priority is to make sure that this product works. And so if this product isn't working, it's a failure. But sometimes the product is okay, mm-hmm. and it is working and it is doing well. But sometimes it might be the team or your partners or your investors or someone else in the mix that is not conducive to making a company work, because there's so many things happening. So how do you usually address that with your clients?
Well, again, it's that oversimplification of something, trying to generalize that this is we love it when things are successful. We don't put too much attention into dissecting things, but when it's a failure, it's really useful to get specific on things. So stepping back and saying, okay, actually, no, I'm very happy about the fact that the product's good. My pain point are my relationships. And is it a team ethos thing? Is it a training thing? Again, we try to overgeneralize, oh, the team sucks. Well, okay, what does that mean? Is it a personality clash? Is there missing information? Have we pivoted away from what we were doing originally and now that's created a gap in skill? And then what do we do from there? So again, there's that getting annoyingly specific and I say annoyingly because it can become fastidious to constantly judging and trying to break things down and analyze things. But it is so important, again, not only for comprehension of this scenario, but also for ourselves, because we do ourselves and the product a disservice when we just say, oh, this is a failure or this is not working.
Yeah, and one of my mentors have given me the best advice, which is hire slow and fire fast.
Okay.
You need to take your time. These are the people that you work with. You're going to spend more time with them than likely your partners or some of your friends, right? Or definitely our families at this stage when we're focusing on our careers. And when you're spending this much time with people, it is so important for you to really get to know that person and say, does this person share the same values, motivation, drive that I have to make this product work? Are they as invested as I am? Because sometimes that's not the case. And people are desperate to have a team so they can say, oh, look at this company that I have, but they hire the wrong people. So I've always taken my time to get to know somebody because for me, the most important thing is that investment of time and sometimes monetary that matches your own. Because when they're invested, they will make it work and they'll be committed just as much as you are. And the mistake I find a lot of people do is they hire their friends because just because they make good friends does not mean they make good partners and they make good business partners, that is. So that's something that we really have to be careful about. And when it's not working, you need to address it immediately. And that's where the fire fast comes in. It's not about firing. It's just about severing things without hurting the actual product itself. And maybe sometimes the person that needs to leave is you. Like maybe if there's some self-reflection there that goes, you know what, this person is better to take this product forward. And maybe I should step back and become an investor or stay on a board or something. What is the general motivation, right? And putting that ego aside is very important.
Yeah, I love that point. There's something that is, if I've really created this product because I believe in it, I believe what it's fixing, I believe in its ability to make money and grow and everything, that would be so hard to step back emotionally and go, the best thing for this is for me to let those best capable to do it.
Absolutely.
obviously relationships, there's so much talk around culture at the workplace, and it's important to have really important, meaningful relationships. But I think it's so critical that we know why we have the relationships that we have. So as you say, not just because I love this person. I think we've all worked in an office or with someone sometime. We're like, you're great, and you're only here because you're great.
Yes, exactly.
And that's incredible to have that energy around. But ultimately, when you're just starting out and you need to have a solid team, it can't be just based off and the emotions of that. Yes, you need a solid culture, but you also need to trust the people and have a reliable team around you.
Yeah. And we hear this word diversity so much in today's working environment, where you go, oh, we need to have diversity, different types of people. And it's a dangerous topic sometimes to talk about. But I truly believe that what diversity means to me and what will really make something work is diversity of skills and diversity of thought. Mm-hmm. Not so much saying, hey, I need to put someone from this ethnic background and this denomination into my team, and now we have a diverse team, because they could all be the same person. Mm. They could have the same thought and the same skill set. Now, if we go, okay, I need someone who's really well versed in finance, in marketing, in legal, and then absolutely look at the talent within those pools and make sure they are representative. Mm-hmm. I think that's something that's really important as well in order to make something work, because what we're finding a lot is companies, my clients, my colleagues, they're coming to me and saying, I have this diverse team, but it's not working. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, it's much like what I said earlier, which is you ended up hiring the same people. Okay. And they're not actually giving you diversity of skill sets and thought. They're all geologists. You know what I mean? So if we're all geologists, but maybe there's the woman and a man there and whatever, but they all think like this is a geo versus they actually needed an engineer or an accountant in the mix in order to make something work. So sometimes it's not a matter of just saying, okay, this isn't working because of something superficial, is what I'm trying to get at, is really digging deeper and saying, why is this not working? Mm-hmm. And how do we address it?
Yeah. And I think in my experience, it's been the exact opposite, where the strength that you talk about of diversity shows up and it's there, but then people don't know how to navigate diversity. It's like, if you have 10 different people who have different backgrounds, they think different ways, they have different needs, you also need to have structures in place to support that, because obviously that diversity is going to create some tensions when people aren't being heard or space is not being made or there's miscommunication. You also need to have an infrastructure where you can show up and support the diversity that you've created. Yeah,
for sure. So herein lies a perfect example. It's like when the product is working, but the people are not, maybe we lack an infrastructure. Maybe it's not this person that's not working. Maybe it was the lack of that infrastructure, the training, or the communication that needs to happen in order to make that diverse team work. And so that's why it brings us back to the whole point of this podcast, is saying, how do we look at something that's not working and assessing what it really, really means to the company, instead of just saying, oh, well, this is done.
Yeah.
Right.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Radio Her, discussing the balance between product quality and workplace culture. Be sure to stay tuned for a final entrepreneurship event being hosted on March 6th, where we will be having a fireside chat alongside these amazing entrepreneurs. Make sure to follow Wiba's Instagram and check out the link in our bio to save your spot for this incredible event. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Radio Her, and make sure to tune in next week for part 4.